everybody, Massimo here, and this is Battle of the Ages. Now you might be wondering, based off what did I give out points? And this is a very good question. Now I'm gonna reveal the points on how, when, everything, and you'll be much more enlightened. Carry on. Now, before I reveal the actual points, I just have to mention that you might be still confused at how this game works. Now, it's very simple. There's 3 phases in the game where people compete against each other. In the first phase, which is not recorded, there's a 30 minutes time limit for them to build in survival with limited amount of resources that they are picking. So it's an extra challenge to it, but at least you know the reasoning behind it, if you haven't figured it out so far. But whatever. Basically they're gonna get free resource packages, aka shulker boxes with filled with bunch of stuff. Based off each package has a unique name to it, and based off of that they have to decide what they want to choose. But they have 30 minutes to build. They have to make a very simple challenge, so they shouldn't go too complicated with the game rules. And of course rules should be explained in 3 or less short sentences or around that, but you know, you can ask for resources. Yeah, I already said that. You can ask for special tools like road edit and everything, but that could bring down the score for yourself based off the amount of road edit you're asking. Now, other than that, I'm gonna give out points as well at the very end on how spacious is this stuff, so on and so forth. But I'm always giving myself new sets of rules each time I'm recording these things. So there's always a variety, there's always a loophole they can abuse or anything, which is an extra challenge to find how to gain the most amount of points for that certain recording session. But other than that, this is the build phase all in together. The second phase is where we record, is the test phase. Basically, it has 2 sides. One of them is the players, testers. The other one is the creators side. Each of them has their own goal to reach in the certain challenge, like for example, as I kept saying for everyone, on if they have at least one person who was able to compete, then they get the points for it, for everything. Otherwise it's gonna be times with 0 and doesn't worth a single thing. Well, that's only the test phase, but still that person can collect as much points from the build phase and the vote phase, but it's kinda iffy in that regard. But there are always miracles based on how many points the others get, because as a player you can still collect points as in first place, second place, third place, as I explained in Lewin's challenge, and basically it varies for each game you guys build. But in the terms of parkour, whoever finishes first, or maze, or any kinds of stuff like that, the first player to finish the conditions will get certain amount of points, so on and so forth, and going down one by one. And of course, if you're not in the first 3 positions, you still get 1 commemorative point as a reward. Now then, as a creator, you can still get points, as in, for example, how many players have finished the game. If there's 1, you get the opposite amount of player points as a reward. Like if there's 7 players, you get 6 points for that if just 1 finishes. Of course, there's also a rule where you get 1 point for each 10 seconds passed without no one yet to finish, aka the one that basically demo win with. And it's gonna be this similar situation for the next recording session, but you'll see what I mean. But continuing on, after that we all play all the 8 games and people can vote someone else as their, best game in their opinion, and the one with the most votes gets 10 points, the second most votes gets 6 points, and the third most votes gets 3 points for the votes. And after that I total up the amount, and of course the highest score wins. Now on with the scores. We have Luan, JC, Demo, Cosmic, DJ, Mitch, Zombie, and Cabbage. Let's go with the last place, Mitch. You might be surprised, big builder, why did he end up being last? Well, for example, he didn't came up with any minigame, which kinda loses the point of the show, and he doesn't get much point, only scoring from competing in other games, and of course based off what I give him as rule specified points of building wise. Let's see, he did had 2 first places, and he got 1 vote from someone, because first places and 1 vote altogether ends up being with 10 points, and I gave 6 points for the very good valid effort on the buildings. They are top quality, but there's no games in it, then it doesn't worth anything else. But still, I gave out from the 13 points 6 points, so right in the middle, but still no delivery in that part. You see, this is what it means that creating a game should give you extra points for it, because if you would have just come up with the first one to stay alive thing, it's basically a PvP challenge, then probably would have gave you like 20 points or something. And of course, one more thing before you guys might ask, based off the every 10 seconds stuff, I kinda give points dividing by 10. So like for example, if somebody's challenge is finished in 2 minutes, I'm not giving them 12 points, I'm giving them 20 points, aka I'm just removing the last 0 from the end and kind of mash up the 2 and the 0. So it's an extra bonus for every minute as well, but it's not the case in Mitch's part. Moving on, we have DJ, who is... So DJ has how many points? Yeah, 21. And the way how he got the 21 points is that he got 6 players finishing it, so JC was very valiant on not finishing the course, which gave him 1 point. The first person who finished the course took 1 minute 50 seconds, so that's, as I explained it before, it's 15 points. And of course he finished first in 1 course, which ends up in a total of 18, and I gave him a +3, considering it wasn't really detailed. He just used 1 tower for each resources to jump on, and even then it was not used to their maximum potential. So that ended up being with 21 points. 6th place JC. Oh no, sixth place is Luan, the blue player, ended up with 22 points because there was 4 players to finish, so that's 3 points because the remaining 3. The first player took 1 minute 39 seconds to finish, so that's 13 points, and he was able to finish a course as a 4th place, aka that's just an extra point, ended up being with 13, 16, 17 points, and I gave to his build 5 points because of he did try his best on building this stuff, and it was a good valid effort, but still not the best. Ended up with 22 points. 5th place is Cabbage, where he made an impossible course, so nobody finishes, and did not get any points from the seconds as well. But he did manages to play and finish as 2 times being 1st place, 2 times being 2nd place, and he had the most votes for best build, which ended up with 24 points, and I gave him an extra 4 points for his good design. But I mean, at the beginning was good, but after that it was only just 1 blockish jumps. It was very you know how there's flashed out one of the health, but the other health is just like too spacious. Now, Zombie, I'm gonna make it a little bit more faster from here on because it's dragging too long. So, Zombie ended up with 32 points. Only 3 players finished. He did finish 2 games, one of which was 1st place. He had 2nd most votes for his game, and of course I gave him just a few points for good measure, but still ended up with 32 points. 3rd place JC, he had 1 player to finish, that's 6 points, kinda 2 minutes who that person to finish, and of course didn't really do much on the end of finishing any other course, and I gave him a little bit more than half points, I think, on his course, so that's ended up with 34 points. 2nd place is Cosmic. Still, he had as well 1 person to finish the course, so that's 6 points. More than 4 minutes to finish the course, and of course he got 2 third places, 1 fifth, and that ended up with 47, plus I gave him a solid 7 as well, I think, and ended up with 54. And then of course we had my demo man. Only Mage survived, so that's 1 person to survive it. That's 6 points for him. He had the maximum amount of points because I couldn't find Mitch in the 5-minute limit, and it's worth 10 seconds each, and I'm not giving the point for the last one. And of course he did finish 4th in 1 in 3rd, 1 in 2nd, and 1 in 1st, and of course I gave him his build 7 points as well, solid, so that's 68 points in total. Congratulations once again, Demo, and thank you very much for everyone else for taking part in this little bit of an experimental game show, and hope to see you guys in the next one, where I re-invite one of these guys for good measures, and there's gonna be 7 new players to compete with him as well. Until then, thank you for listening to me, and see you guys next time. Toodaloo!